revolution. Hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to the Milky Way galaxy. The place where sometimes you can speak freely, but not all times. Today, we're just going to play a little game called Share Whatever You Feel. And so, today is a day, just like any other day, that maybe there's something greater than what meets the eye. There's something greater than the machine, the system, the rules and regulations, the terms and conditions. You just hold the trigger.
Thank you.
Party, party, party! But at the same time, it also feels like the world's ending. Because day in and day out, year after year, age after age, we repeat the same patterns. What are those patterns? Well, the patterns where a small group of people take advantage of us. And they're not like the guys that we need to say are bad and deserve to be killed. But we do need to do something about narcissism as it continues to expand and accelerate through our institutions, and it's more than just politics. It goes into every area, every sector, every field that we might have forgotten can contain our dreams. For what are our dreams? What is our passion? What is the thing that gets us up out of the morning? And that is not easy to talk about because the return isn't really high. Not enough to pay the bills. But our society is reaching that critical moment where individualism, consumerism, every man, woman, and child for themselves will find its bubble popping. Any moment now! Any moment now! But yet, it goes on. The grinding wheels of whatever job we're in, doesn't care if we're tired, doesn't care if we are sad, if we don't want the First Amendment. For there's a reason why America is more unique than what we might call Russia or China. And that gives us a little bit of a wiggle room to try something different than what we've seen in history, where a small group of people try to make us the slaves so that they can just enrich their self-image to being the superiors of this universe. But we're all equal. We all have the same rights. We all have the same ability to be the Christ, the Antichrist, the good guy, the bad guy, the genius, the inventor, who walks to the edge of the earth and says, the world's not flat, it's round. And that is exactly what we're facing today. We feel like there's an edge. An AI won't be able to necessarily surpass, as many are starting to question. So what's after AI? What's after the robots? What's after the implant that we get? Well, if you have the money, that is. Well, it probably has something to do with collectivized experimentation with our voice, our stories, our dreams that we have put on the back burner because you can't really make money on that. You can't really pay the bills on that. You can't really tell your children, oh, just be creative, be an artist, be a writer, be a dancer.
Yeah, you drugs, how about that? Be a dancer.
And that's all nice, to aspire to be this very creative person that can inspire others to rise beyond fentanyl, rise beyond Call of Duty, pornography. I'm guilty. Many of us are. But I feel there's something even deeper in terms of an addiction to not wanting to be seen as an outsider, someone that goes beyond the status quo, challenges the norms, challenges our comfort zone, challenges what is real. What is real? Is this real? Or is this kind of like a fantasy where we can just enjoy life while 2/3 of the world live below the poverty line, earning less than $2 a day? 1% of the population owning over 90% of the world's wealth. Oxfam, statistic, research. But there's debates as far as the data, how we can sustain ourselves in this consumerist system. And I wouldn't say capitalism's all bad. I wouldn't say communism is entirely a self-centered system, but they're both two sides of the same coin. And beyond politics, we want something that's beyond intellectualism, beyond big words, beyond stacks of paper in order to just get a petition through, to start a campaign, to start, I don't know, to be a leader in the system, which is really like a gauntlet. Unless you play the party line, you won't get the super PAC money. You'll have to come up with the money on your own. Millions of dollars if you want to be a big boy or a big girl. But we need leaders. We need something different than what we see day to day or on our feed scrolling. You'll find something new, but oftentimes you might find people just stressed, burnt, tired, done. How do we keep going? This is something that is affecting everyone. We all see it on some level, maybe, unless we very specifically ensure our feed doesn't have those things in it. That things are all well, And if you're homeless or you smoke fentanyl, maybe you're lazy, you're dumb. Maybe you were just dealt bad cards. But anyways, I'm out here today because I'd rather see people express themselves than use AR-15s in public. And there's a reason why people resort to violence instead of words. They don't know how to express themselves. They don't know how to find a human face-to-face element beyond the feeds, the platforms, the algorithms. But anyways, what a world, what a society. And all are welcome to speak. This is not my microphone, megaphone. It is the people's. And if anyone has a burning desire to share something that they may not have shared before, or rarely, this could be your moment.
Noise pollution.
Noise pollution. Call 911. Get the crazy out of here. He needs a psych ward. Get him on some meds. I'll do it. But the revolution doesn't have to be through violence. The Civil War doesn't have to be through violence. The World War doesn't have to happen. It just takes a certain will to let go of our image, our comfortability, what we think is absolutely true. For I certainly don't have all the answers. And I feel we all need help. We all need different points of view if we're really wanting to make this experiment work. For we're not going to last another 250 years at the rate that we are on. But anyways, it's all love at the end of the day. Even the tragedy, even the Shakespeare, even the blood, the exploitation, the objectification, the hyperstimulation, the dopamine fix. It's all a part of the grand play. And who's directing the play? Well, that's certainly been the debate throughout all known history, no? Who's the one in charge? Who's the architect here? Is it any one of these people? Well, if we unite, perhaps it is. But unity does not come easy. Unity is something that comes through a type of death of our comfort zone, what we think is possible. Can we think the unthinkable, speak the unspeakable, dare to do the impossible without having to make it about Hollywood, where we just kill the bad guy through violence and then pay the actors millions of dollars because they deserve it, you know? They did a good job acting. So many of us were entertained while we go back to our lives, doing whatever we do. But Hollywood had its time. It played a good part. But now, as the age of movies and streaming and everything being pirated allows us to see that maybe there are other stories, other scripts, other matrices from which we can polarize principles and rights and magic, purpose, humanity, compassion, being the change you want to see, speaking unto others what you want others to speak unto you. Catholic Church certainly twisted everything, took out reincarnation, and then the pendulum switched to materialism. God is unreal. It's all just a hallucination of Neanderthals evolving. The bicameral theory. But anyways, history. Is it his story? Is it the victors who tell the story? Often men. privileged, high status, ranked men? Or are there others who are censored, marginalized, erased from the script because they might understand there's a feminine principle to life? For this planet would be nothing without the moon. But what is this astrology? What does it have to do with practical policies and getting the rights of the people in its firm place in our work, in our families, in our neighborhoods and communities? What is this nonsense speech? Well, whatever you make of it. For it's all perception at the end of the day. How you choose to look at it. Heaven and hell might just be a state of mind. And good and evil, that might also be just a state of mind. For Shakespeare said, nothing is good or bad, but thinking makes it so. But Shakespeare was boring. I didn't even care for whatever he said. School was boring. Hell, I didn't care about anything in school. As they force everything down our mind throats and expect us to regurgitate A's. But what does it mean to be a good student in a time where our leaders barely can speak what we are going through? What is going on? Who are we? Are we just a bundle of flesh, or are we perhaps cells in a larger organism? Are we mirrors of how we perceive ourselves? Are we just individuals, or are we just part of a collective that is inside this so-called individual? Did we evolve from a plant, a rock, an animal? Nothingness? Did the Big Bang spring from nothing? Was the world created in 6 days? So much conjecture, so much speculation. But, as they say on Wall Street, sell high, buy low, get rich, be happy, fuck everyone else, because it doesn't matter how we play the casino. If you don't play by the right rules, it don't matter. Every man for themselves, survival of the fittest. And so, as I said before, I do not own this mic. It is owned by the people. And if anyone has a dream, has something that they feel is not talked about on their feed, in their job, in their family, in their society, you could share it. It's just not easy, because oftentimes it feels like death. For oftentimes you never see someone doing this, because the ramifications can be large. I mean, someone could even pull a trigger because they don't like what you believe. As we saw with Charlie Kirk, even though I don't agree with a lot of what he said, still, can we have communication over bullets? We'll see. We'll see if there's a civil war and if states activate the National Guard against each other. Texas versus California, because we couldn't really settle in a system that allowed us the freedom to compete with our business ideas in respect to the multinational corporations who practically drive the market. But they're too big to fail. The government should not regulate. They should not step in. The market will take care of itself. Don't worry, your startup, your small business will be fine. Don't worry, don't worry. Invest in your 401k. But anyways, that's what the big boys say. Those who are often men. Where are the women? Where are the leaders? Another enigma, a dilemma, a mystery. And so, our society is waiting for change in leadership. So it's all women, no more men? No. No. I'm not an extremist. I'm a moderate. But anyways, Dr. King, Gandhi, Bernie, AOC, there's others. But I don't know a whole lot of leaders who are echoing the sentiments of what is happening behind the surface. And so, round and round, the world goes. The show goes on and on, the snake swallowing its own tail. Why is there a snake coiled on the medical establishment? Don't talk about taboos. Don't do it. Don't do the bit. You're not supposed to do certain things that are not on the script. Our lovely medical establishment, treating our illnesses and diseases and cancers through evidence-based medicine. And so, the negativity is tough, but the coil of the serpent is the coil of that force through our spine that is pseudoscience. It's not consciousness, it's not magnetism, it's not what we perceive. It's just nerves and electromagnetic synapses firing. But the snake is a symbol seen throughout time in different cultures. And America is going to awaken one day to how it relates to the pyramids, which are built all over the world in ancient societies. You see it on the $1 bill. But what value does this all have with the medical establishment and treating the illnesses we have of anxiety, stress, depression, not knowing if we want to continue, perhaps jump off the Golden Gate Bridge. Oh, I can't do that. They built the net. Too many people were killing themselves. Fuck. Oh, he's talking false truths. He needs to change his rhetoric. But anyways, such is the case in all times where it's not the majority that truly enjoys what happens to the minorities. The homeless, the poor, those who don't have a higher education, a high-paying salary. But anyways, America may seem like a free society, but it's leaning more towards a dictatorship. Oh no, violence. I should run away. But all are welcome to throw, to fist, to pull triggers. We all have free will. But the only thing we can really do is what we would like others to do unto us. Even if the majority say, burn him, kill him, Barabbas, Barabbas. For the message of Jesus was actually that we are all capable of being the Christ. Not just one person, but the Catholic Church always has to turn something around. Make it all about themselves. Oh, we're the only religion that's true. But anyways, the golden rule is not very golden in our society. You rarely see it. You might see it every now and then. But what keeps us together are those few who believe that kindness is better than hatred. Standing up for each other is better than lobbying with the government to create tax loopholes for our offshore bank accounts. For the greatest among us pay nothing in taxes. Oh, we already knew this. Tell us something we don't already know. America, what a dream. What an idea. What an experiment. And so, if we want something better, someone's going to have to speak up. And any one of you are welcome. But it certainly does feel a little scary, where we don't know who we will become if we just share without thinking what we might say beforehand. But to just share without knowing is a leap across the edge of reality. And so love, as Dr. King said, is what will drive out hate. Hate will not drive out hate. But where do we actually see a real movement? Every 4 months with no kings? Oh, take out your sign, march down the street. It's good, but we need something fundamentally more, fundamentally different. For we all know something is fundamentally broken. And it relates to all of us. We feel it every day. But how can we deal with it? How can we find solutions? Through collective interaction, experimentation, improvisation. This is where the script is not set in stone. Where every moment we are writing the fate and the destiny of what we truly want for the whole of humanity. One person can change the fate of an entire civilization, but they have to be willing to let go of changing the world, changing others, changing reality. For reality will work itself out, but there's something underneath the so-called reality that is more of an illusion than we have prescribed to our children. And so, that's pretty much the show, folks. And if anyone wants to share, you still can. But oftentimes, we don't think we're worthy. We don't feel we have the equal right. We don't have the knowledge, the degree, the credentials, the references, the cited sources. But we are finding out as time goes on that higher education, scholasticism, academia is not what it really makes itself out to be. And so, if you weren't here, I wouldn't have been here. And I appreciate you, even if you disagree. But through us, we are the solution. We are the hope. We are the fire. We are the truth. We are the thing. We are the mystery that can never be put in a box. For once you open Pandora's box, there's no knowing what might happen. Dare to be yourself. Dare to be who you are, even if death might just be on the other side. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.